All right. Welcome back, folks, to Bro Do It Yourself. It's February the 20th, 9:30 in the morning. It's like in the 20s out there. I think this is it for the cold weather. It'll probably snow and Easter, a little dusting and everything, but I think that we're over the single digits in the teens. I think from now on we're going to get 30s and 40s and 50s, and it's going to be close to 60 today. That out of the way, I wanted to tell you that I want to do an unboxing. I've gotten on an unboxing jag here lately, but there's no reason not to. I know little to nothing about rotary hammers. I know that I've got an air hammer I use, and whenever I've needed any kind of torque or high pressure impact, like when I'm working on a chiseling off the front end of the cars, up underneath, doing any kind of that kind of stuff, I just reach for my air. It's down there somewhere. I'm not going to do that because the video is about the brushless Bauer rotary hammer. It's 1/2 inch SDS-PLUSS. And I'm not going to go through a whole litany of jibber jabber about this thing. All I know is there's a lot of videos about this thing, but I did want to point out one other thing. Let me get you hooked up today, because my wife came out and kind of surprised her that I was doing this, because she is one who usually takes care of this. Every time I try to do something on this thing, I mess up. So I messed up twice. I had 2 videos, and it was when I went to check them out, it was 4 videos. And every time I had a problem, it's because I put it in my tripod. So I'm stupid. Let's talk about this now. The reason I got this thing is because I'm going to put 2 concrete pads out there. One for my quiet box, for my generator, and another for my condenser for my HVAC. And then I'm going to put a deck down. So that is one job that I got it for. Another job was maybe lag bolts that I'm going to have to put in when I'm hanging up my joist for my deck. I might need it for that, and I might need it for I'm trying to think of reasons to use this thing besides the fact it's a once in a lifetime thing, maybe a twice in a lifetime thing, where I have to drive copper rods, the grounding rods, and the 8-foot 5/8 copper rods I've got up. I've got to put 1 for the generator and then 2 for my sub panel in here. So that's what this is going to come in for. I've got the drill, SDS-PLUSS drill, or hammering insert driver today coming in. So let's talk about this. The Bauer brushless. I like that idea. That's probably the main reason I didn't go out and buy a Milwaukee. I paid, what did I pay for this thing? I paid 70, it was listed for $79.99. I got it for 71. It was 10% off. And then, so, we'll see. It's a 3-in-1 rotary hammer, chisel, and drill. Like I say, I'm not going to go through the whole litany of stuff. This is my depth rod, which is marked in metric, which you cannot read. You can read about 30% of the numbers on there, but I know I'm going to be going to about there, so anybody who's got to be any more manual than that has got a better job than I do. I always just use painter's tape. Okay, so let's talk about this. Drills more than 200 holes per charge. They've got an asterisk, and that asterisk has got to do with use a 3 amp hour battery or greater. So, rather than go out buy a whole new black battery platform, I got an adapter online. Maybe sacrilege. I got that red dot or button there is for the installation of this rod here, and so that's for that. Sure, that'll come in handy. But rather than buy a whole new battery platform, I went out and got a $20 adapter for my M18 batteries, and it works. Looks like a charm. And it says use a 3 amp hour whenever I'm, or greater. So I just happen to have that in here. And the reason I wanted to get this rotary hammer was twofold. Number one, I thought that this Hole Dozer was going to fit in here, and it does not. It's not an SDS-PLUSS. The configuration on SDS-PLUSS is this fluting. This is just like a quick release that you have in a quarter hex. So that didn't work. Got that for. I'm sure that if I go to research it, that there's a specific Milwaukee, or might even be a specific Bauer or Hercules or DeWalt, or I'm sure that there's something that I don't know anything about. This is mine. I had that from an art, and I just put it in my hammer drill, my electric hammer drill, as a matter of fact. That's what this green one is. But this thing here, let me take a segue and go off to this. I got this from China. I know I told you guys I was going to get a China delivery to take care of it. This is my 1/4-inch hex. It's exactly the same concept as that 3/8 drive, except I can use my M18 quarter impact, either the surge or the impact, and either M18 or the 12 volt or the 18 volt. See that? So, good on me. Now, whether it tears these up because they're not made to take anything bigger than whatever this thing fits on, which they all fit on, I think. But they lock in. I'll tell you what, I had to use my Knipex to get this off of this arbor. And yeah, it was on there snug, really snug. So anyway, with that little factor out of the way, I think this is like $20. Took a week, a little over a week to get here. I saw an American offering, but they're out of stock. They've been out of stock for months, so I don't know what the story is with that. Anyway, I'm sure it looks exactly like this, so maybe it's an American company getting them from China. I don't have any idea. All I know is I got what I need now, so one less thing. Kind of like Forrest Gump. Okay, now that being dealt with, and the fact that I can use M18s in there, so you can see your rotary function. You can see your hammer drill function. You can see your drill function. And then you can see your hammer drill. And what I'm going to be using is probably, I think that this is what I'll be using for your SDS pullback, just like you do any other check device. Make sure it's seated well, and I want to tell you what, it doesn't mess around. Slowly that moves, that's going to be perfect for driving a rod. Of course, I guess if I wanted to, I could really spin it with a hammer function, or just use the hammer. I can't see that though. I'm sure that I'll use some kind of rotating. I think the important thing too is to grease these before you put them in the arbor. So yeah, I've got some red grease I'll just use in there. And I'll do some research to find out, but I can't imagine it being anything special. I'm not going to buy anything. This model number is 2144C, and the thing I like about this owner's manual is right here. Ta-da! So if I get a part that, goes Tango uniform, then I'll just grab this thing and see if I can order it. Well, I can't imagine if anything fouls up that bad, I'll probably be buying a whole new rotary hammer. And if I have to use it that much, I'll reach out for a Milwaukee, since I've got the M18. This is the strange thing about the general instruction for use. General instructions. It says plug in the power cord for masonry drilling. Hammer drill operation, plug in the power cord. Chiseling, plug in. Stupid. Anyway, that's how much quality they got. I guess they're just used to saving trees. Just because they've got a cordless, why should they go? I'm trying to think if there's anything special here that I should mention. The batteries are sold separate. 20 volt is essentially 18 volt. I mean, it sounds stronger, but it's exactly the same offering. 2144C-B. So I guess I don't know what that means. I don't know what this number is. 57744. I don't care. 1/2 inch SDS-PLUSS rotary hammer. Now they say that that's the limit. I don't know what that means. I've seen guys use 7/8 on an SDS-PLUSS, and I guess if you want it to last any time, then you'll just use, that. I can't imagine even using a 1/2 inch. Maybe on the lags, maybe on construction screws, or I can't imagine that. Probably be using this 3/8 to anchor down the concrete, or the quiet box. Something to keep the wind from blowing it away. The only thing that my adapter does is it makes me have to force that into position, which puts stress on the back. So I just won't do it. I'll just leave it off to one side or take the battery out. Another thing about this adapter is you cannot charge these M18s. You can just run the tool. You have to take it out to charge it. I don't care about any of that. I'm just glad that I don't have to go out and buy a new energy setup. It's one of the main reasons that my DeWalt's, I kept them so long with that 14.4 volt. I was well happy with that until it got to the point where they just crapped out and I didn't want to buy all. They were like $74 a piece, and the 14, they were all brushed motors. So this Milwaukee's cornered the market on this whole deal, man, with this not Bauer, I'm sorry, but my Milwaukee, with this intelligent with the computer stuff they've got. So it lets the battery talk to the motor and won't let it burn out. So I like it a lot. That's a good thing about this too, is I saw them say that they had an LED light, and I wanted to point that out to you. Let me get this thing hooked up here. There we go. I forgot to mention, and this will be help me with an outro, is they've got an LED on here. But I want to show you something. This LED, I don't know why you would ever need this LED, because when I was living in Montana, up in the North Fork of the Flathead Valley, the Flathead River, I would go up there and I could read atop a mat on starlight up there on a moonless night. That's about what you got here. I mean, I guess if you had to, it's not like the light that you have with these Milwaukees. Look at that. I mean, it's not, it's just about 10 times brighter, but I mean, it's neither here nor there. I can't imagine. I mean, I've been out on my deck using a table saw at 11 o'clock at night, pissing the neighbors off with a dull blade. But I had LEDs out there with that. I was on the other deck. So, but I mean, using a hammer like this, I mean, for crying out loud, that light is almost, I guess you could use it. I guess you could call it a light. That's what you can call it. But nothing to write home to Mom about. Let's put an end to this unboxing. And let me tell you that I appreciate you coming back. And I'll try to work on my outros. I don't have good outros. I need to get my wife involved because she is a much better videographer than I will ever be. That is your brushless 1/2 inch SDS-PLUSS type rotary hammer from Harbor Freight, the Bauer 2144C-B, and it's going to do me just fine for what I need it for. So take care. See you next time. Yep, got it made.